Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for Taroscopes again. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Pisces. That's Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising for the month of June. Um, Before we get to that, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining this lovely group of like-minded souls. To my tried and true who have been with me for years, thank you so much for walking this path with me. It has meant the world to me. To my new members of my YouTube channel, thank you so much for supporting me in this way. There is more to come, including another item for the basket of deplorables coming soon to a video near you. And to my Patreon folks, thank you so much for your continued support over all these years. It really does mean the world to me. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to look at the astrology specifically for Pisces for this month. I do have another video about the astrology of the month, and then also videos coming out for the weeks in June. So you can keep your eyes peeled for that. All right, let's see, what do I need to do here? Okay, sorry. I can't do two things at once. It's a problem. In a multitasking world, it's a problem. All right, so we're in the month of June and we're looking at the sign of Pisces. Of course, Pisces is a Neptune ruled sign if you go by the modern ruler, and Neptune is now in Aries. Neptune moved into Aries it's the end of March, I think. And it'll be there until the fall when it steps back into Pisces, going back into that first house of yours, but it doesn't stay there long. So the last degree of Pisces, it seems like these transpersonal planets are doing that. They're coming out of their sign. That would be Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. They're coming out of the sign they're in. They dip their toe into the next sign, and then they scoot back and have to finish up that last degree. We also have what else is in air? So yeah, let me talk about that. So now the Neptune, which has been in your first house for 14 years, is now sort of meandering through your second house of your values. Now Neptune is a diffuse energy, but it is idealistic, but it's also very a lot of potential. It's mass consciousness really in Neptune is mass consciousness. And in Aries, it's as if the consciousness of all things is moving to a new level, right? And so we will see that. We can feel it certainly. And of course, you being a Pisces, you feel everything anyway. But having Neptune in that second house um, second house being the house of money, you can feel like perhaps your money, if you did have some money, that it could be sort of dissolving away. Um, what I would say at this point is anything that is lost in the year 2025, which is a 9 year, is something that really on some level you no longer needed. And once we move into 2026 and we move into that one vibration, new opportunities will come. So don't be too, I know everybody's concerned, but there are certain things you can do stuff about, and there's certain things that you can't do something about. Focus on the things that you can affect and affect them and leave the rest go. And of course, you're Pisces, so probably real good at letting go anyway. So you've had all that practice. I do want to point out that the North Node is also in Pisces. And the North Node is the direction of our destiny, right? The future, the unknown future. Well, the unknown future is Piscean, which is good for you because you're a Pisces, right? So you understand it. You have a certain familiarity with this situation that other signs perhaps do not. The thing about Pisces is Pisces has been there, done that in spades, really. It is the last sign of the zodiac. And so when you have Pisces in your chart prominently, whether it's the sun, the moon, the ascendant, um, your life is really about your life is a wrap up. And if there's anything you haven't resolved, it does come up for a resolution. And so we will see things that haven't resolved come up for resolution at this time. All right, the sun starts the month in Gemini. That's your fourth house. So that's a very personal place. It's kind of all the water houses are kind of hidden, very personal. They deal with our feelings. And you're a very feeling sign. So with the sun in Gemini, you're illuminating issues around family, perhaps. We also have Jupiter there. Now, both the sun and Jupiter are going to move into Cancer this month. Now, of course, every June, the sun moves into Cancer when we move into the summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, or the winter in the Southern Hemisphere. But Jupiter only does that every 12 years. And so this is a big shift going from a sign that squares you, right? Gemini and Pisces are both um, mutable signs, so they are in a square to each other. So that Jupiter energy can cause a lot of movement and a lot of energy. Once it slips into Cancer, however, it's a trine energy and there's more of a flow. So you're probably going to feel better once Jupiter goes into Cancer. It is your fifth house of creative self-expression, and it's going to be there for a year. It's also your house of children, um, luck, and romance. So those things with Jupiter there can expand. Now, it's not that everything is problem free, because there's no such thing, right? As a Pisces, you understand that, but there is a flow of creativity and really fun, and it's nice on occasion to have some fun, don't you think, Pisces? We also have a new moon in that house. That's going to happen at the end of the month. Um, we start with the full moon this month, and we end the month with a new moon. And I'm looking for okay, here it is. Hold on one second. I should know the dates of this off the top of my head, but I do not. So the full moon is happening on the 11th, and the new moon is happening on the 25th. And I realize that the new moon is happening later, but I want to talk about it first. The new moon in Cancer is in that fifth house, so this would be a good time to plant seeds, to start a project, a creative project. It could also be something you start with your children. So that's the new moon. The full moon, which happens on, did I say the 11th? Yeah, on the 11th is actually in Sagittarius, with the sun in, of course, in Gemini, because full moons are always oppositions of the sun and the moon. So the sun is down there in that sort of mystical, almost hidden fourth house, but the moon shining bright right at the top of the chart. And so something is illuminated, and the axis is the axis of security. That's being the fourth, 10th house axis is the axis of security. The axis of the actual sun moon is the axis of the mind. So there are questions about the security of your mind, but isn't there always? I have a Pisces moon, I can say that stuff. Um, but there's also an illumination, and that illumination happens in a very public place. And so the full moon in Sag is, Sagittarius is about truth. And so a truth can come out, something can be revealed, something that had been previously hidden can be revealed with that full moon. Okay, let's see. Mercury, the planet of the mind, starts in Gemini. Mercury's moving very quickly. It goes through three signs, not completely, but it's in three signs. Goes completely through Cancer in about 2 weeks, really. And it starts in Gemini, goes through Cancer, and then moves into Leo. Now it's going to be in Leo for a while. It goes into Leo at the end of the month. It goes into Leo on the 26th. That's the day after the new moon. And it's going to be in Leo all of July, because we do have a Mercury retrograde in Leo in July. So Mercury's going to spend a lot of time in that sixth house of yours, going forward and then going backwards. And the sixth house is the house of health. It's the house of service. So you just need to be aware of what you're feeling. Gemini rules the hands, the lungs, the arms, and the shoulders. And so any issues with that area of your body, you definitely want to take care of. Mars, the planet of action. Speaking of the sixth house, Mars, the planet of action, starts the month in the sixth house in Leo. It's been in Leo for a long time. In fact, it was in Leo at the end of the year, 2024, at which time it went retrograde. It retrograded back into Cancer and spent most of its retrograde actually in Cancer, but still spent a lot of time in Leo, both going backwards and going forward. It's still in Leo. 6 months later, it's still in Leo. But then it moves into Virgo on, let's see, when does that happen? Early in the month. Moves into Virgo, or maybe not so early. Oh, the 17th. Okay, so half the month it's in Virgo, half the month it's in Leo, half the month it's in Virgo. When it moves into Virgo, it is going to be moving into your your seventh house of relationship. Mars is energy. And in Virgo, it's perfecting, right? It's this energy of if at first you don't succeed, try again. It's very persistent. It is analytical in its nature, so you might find yourself being more analytical when it comes to relationships. Usually not your thing, right? You're very romantic, so but this could bring up some issues in relationships with pickiness. Mars in the seventh house always brings energy into that seventh house. If you have good relationships, it brings energy to those. But if relationship is an issue, sometimes that can come up as well. We have to remember that the South Node now is in that seventh house, and the South Node is what we need to let go of. And when you're a Pisces, you tend to attract all the strays. And so you want to make sure that you're letting go of any situations or relationships that put you in uh, a victim, more like victimizer energy. Okay, you want to avoid that. We're letting go of that. That's part of the shift, is letting go of the need for that victimizer consciousness. Pluto is in Aquarius now. It's going to be there for another 19 years. And so that's going to be sitting there for a while. It is retrograde right now. And it is in the 12th house. Of all the signs, Pisces is probably the most likely to even know what's going on in the 12th house. But there's deep shifts and transformations happening with you, Pisces, at a level that is, in a way, so deep and so mysterious that it may even be a little bit of a mystery to you. Oh, I'm getting a cup of cuppa. That is good. Okay. So that's pretty much the astrology. Let me just double check. Um, Venus moves from the second to the third house. Venus moves into Taurus. Venus has been moving through Aries. She had her retrograde period. She has spent a lot of time in your second house and a lot of time in your first house, helping you to learn to value yourself. Now she's going to be moving in when she moves into Taurus, and she moves into Taurus relatively early. She moves into Taurus on the 6th of May. She's in your house of your mind, and she's in Taurus. So this can actually, with Venus moving into Taurus and Mars moving into Virgo, and there is that sort of trining energy from them, it actually, I think, will calm down any mental anxiety or disruption that you're feeling. The sun, Venus and Mars, the planets of relationship in Earth, calms everything down a bit. So that's going to be hopeful because things have been anything but calm. All right, so that's the story on that. Let me stop the share. Okay, so I'm going to be doing tarot reading using the Handl Tarot. It's funny because I had years ago I had a good friend, and we used to do all fun things together, right? But we used to do the tarot, and this was the deck that she had even before she met me. And she was a Pisces. So every time I use this deck, I think of her. All right. Okay, just trying to, oh, uh-oh. The hanger did me in. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Message for Pisces for the month of June. What does Pisces need to know? What does Pisces need to be aware of this month? I'm doing these readings in May. I have to do them ahead of time, you know. And we have a beautiful day today. All the flowers are blooming. This is my favorite time of the year. So I take every day in fully. All right. The eye. See what the eye has to say. We have a white buffalo woman, daughter of stones, princess of stones. So this is the page of pentacles. This is generally seen when you're learning something new. So perhaps you are learning something new. It is a Virgo energy. And so we have Mars in Virgo now, moving through that relationship house. So it seems like relationships might be a primary source this month. The white buffalo woman or the white buffalo is um, actually the white buffalo has been born. There's been a couple of the white buffaloes born. And I believe the idea is that it brings in um, a time of peace. Now, there's been quite a few white buffaloes, and so far we haven't gotten the peace thing down. But I think on a certain level, on somewhere we have the peace thing down, and now we just have to allow ourselves to be in the peace, to be in the peace. But it is a card associated with starting something new, a new project, something that you're maybe not good at. Maybe you're taking a new class, something to build upon. Let's see the challenge to that. We have the Prince of Swords or the Son of Swords. This is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords can be somebody who gets involved in things too quickly and ends up paying the price of karma. So if there's somebody like that in your life, you have to be aware of that. But if that's you, you don't want to jump into anything too quickly, especially when it has to do with uh, a mind thing, like an idea, like that's a good idea, and you run in. Now you're a Pisces, you should know that everything comes back around, right? So what I would say the challenge of the Son of Swords here would be to um, utilize that Virgo energy before you get involved, right? This could be you could actually meet somebody that has that energy. They're sure of themselves. They're in for the fight, right? So just be aware that um, everything has a consequence to it. And it's not like you can't go in that direction or do that thing. It just means that you really have to think about it before you do it. Underneath it all is the death card. This is the card of change. So there's a lot of change going on. You're trying to get your feet under us. We're all trying to get our feet under us. But there is this sense of constant change. So it's really when that's happening, right? It's hard for you to set your feet anywhere. Let's see what's in the past. We have an illumination, the sun. So something has been recently illuminated to you. It's put you on a new path. That in part could be this card here, learning something new, right? So whatever happened in the recent past has informed you to maybe go in this direction and start this new class, new project. Um, it has potential, but there's a big learning curve. Okay, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. That's if you decide to do it, you do it. But there is a learning curve involved. Let's see what's in the sky. We have the Five of Pentacles in the sky. Now, the sky can be a number of things. Sometimes it's the outer world. I can see it as the outer world. And of course, the Five of Pentacles is loss and bankruptcy and resources. It's instability. It's financial instability. So out in the world, there's quite a bit of financial instability. In the immediate future, we get the Nine of Wands. This is called power in this deck. Um, this is about standing your ground, keeping healthy boundaries. And this is a strength card. So this says to me that no matter what is going on in the outer world, you have the strength to maintain your boundaries through it, at least in the month of June. How it's seen from the outside. Mother of Cups, this is how you're seen from the outside. This is the psychic mother. This is the Queen of Cups. The person who knows things just because they know them. They don't have to see them, they know them. Very empathetic, very sensitive. This is the type of person when you're feeling blue, you want to go sit with them and have a cup of tea. That's you. That's you. People come to you for your calming presence and your connection to source, really. Some people can't connect directly. I mean, everybody can connect directly, but some people go to other people to get that energy. They don't realize they can get it for themselves, which is one of the challenges with Pisces because everybody wants to be around you. And sometimes you give others more permission than you give yourself because you figure, oh, well, everybody needs somebody. Domestic situation, the Three of Wands. I like this. This is a good card. It's called Virtue in this deck, but it's about opportunity. It's about waiting for your ships to come in. Things are looking up. Things will continue to look up in your domestic situation. You just have to have a little bit of patience and just keep the light on. That's all. Just keep the light on at home. Hopes and fears. The moon. This is the Pisces card, but it's also lunacy. You're afraid because people are crazy and they're acting crazy and they're doing crazy things, and you're not wrong to be concerned about that. Um, but the more you fear something, I feel the more you bring it into your energies, into your own energy. So, and Pisces can be very fearful as a sign. So just try to keep that at bay. Don't allow other people's fear, or if you're watching things that make you feel fearful, if there is something that you can't do about it in your personal life, then maybe you need to avoid watching it. It's good to know what's going on, but if you're filling your head up with things that now you know, but you can't do anything about, it can make you feel powerless, and that's not a good place to be. And the outcome is the Empress. This is one of the most powerful feminine cards in the deck. It's about abundance. It's connected to Venus. Remember, Venus is moving into Taurus in that second house. Venus and Taurus in the second house can also bring money to you as from your words. So if you have a book out there, if you've written a book, or if you do podcasts or whatever it is, your words can actually bring in resources. Let's see what's underneath it. We have the Devil, and then the Eight of Swords, which is interference, and then the Three of Cups, which is abundance. And so there is, you do sense the evil in the world. You understand that people are somewhat in the mental prison. It's a mental prison, right? However, with the Three of Cups there, if we allow the feelings to flow, the Three of Cups is sort of like getting together with your girlfriends kind of energy, or getting together with friends, or getting together with people of like mind, and celebrating the commonalities that we have, despite the fact that there is quite a bit of evil and quite a bit of fear, and people feeling like they have no choices out there. That's an illusion. There's always a choice, and you can always choose love. And I think you know that as a Pisces. Or if you don't, I'm telling you. So there, now you know it. All right. So the other thing I've been pulling on everybody is an oracle card. And this month I have decided to use the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. See what animal spirit we get for Pisces. This is always interesting. It's always interesting, I think. All right, let's see. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Show me Pisces. Show me Pisces. This is the card that's sticking out to me. Scarab Beetle Spirit. Scarab Beetle Spirit. We have a lot of scarab beetles in my yard. We used to have more when we had dogs because, anyway, the dung beetles, right? So we don't see them as often now, but they're still there. Okay, where is the little book? Okay. It says magic works through you. It doesn't it though, Pisces? All right. S. Scarab. I'll hold this up. It's a beautiful card. I know it's a bug. I know it's a bug, but it's still beautiful. Scarabs are symbols of rebirth, right? In Egypt. It says in ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle was revered for the creative magic of scarab. Wait, I'm sorry. In ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle was revered for the creative magic of scarab beetle spirit reminds us that we can bring forth something extraordinary, seemingly out of thin air. It's not really thin air. It's really the potential of the great cosmic sea where Pisces swims. So you know what I'm talking about here. Whether you let your creativity flow through you, Scarab Beetle reminds you that Spirit has given you the gift of infinite potential. That is Neptune. Okay, infinite potential. You have an ally as you fashion something new or repurpose the old, for Spirit co-creates with you, channeling energy through you so that you feel replenished and vitalized as you make magic with what is at hand. Now it is time for great optimism, for you can accomplish anything you desire and your creative endeavors will come to fruition. Miracles, opportunities, abundance, and love will appear seemingly out of nowhere as you allow Spirit to work through you and magically manifest what you need. And this is, remember, you got the Empress as the last card. That is similar energy, right? It's abundance. It's abundance. There is a protection message, and I will read it to you because everybody needs a little protection. Do you doubt your unique inner magic? Are you afraid that you have no originality or that creative juices don't flow through you? I can't believe that's true as a Pisces. I just don't believe that. Perhaps you are mistakenly believe you are not the creative manifesting type. Scarab Beetle Spirit's message is that creativity is a living force that comes to all of us from Spirit. Who wants every person on the planet to manifest magic and co-create the world anew. You are as capable of resilience and innovation as anyone. So yes, you can. All right, Pisces, I hope you find this helpful as we move through yet another crazy month. And June will definitely have its crazy moments. So take care of yourselves. Remember, I always have to say that to Pisces because sometimes we forget as we're taking care of the world. You can only do what you can do. Be satisfied with that. Enjoy about it. And even if you can only do a little bit in the world to make it a better place, the expression of joy and when you're in your heart is even more powerful than anything you can do with your hands, quite frankly. So do with your hands, but live in your heart. And I'll see you again next month. Take care, everyone. Namaste.